Best Ball Brunch. Best Ball Brunch. Best Ball. What's happening, everybody? It is Too Much Best Ball here. I am your host, Brian, for this Best Ball Brunch, and we're ready to get going with our draft today, and I'm so excited. I can't thank you all for joining me. Let's get rolling. Boop, boop. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start off with I wasn't sure which direction to go, so we're going to go with a poodle draft today. Looks like it's going to be closing up here pretty soon. Let's go ahead and jump in there because I'm not sure how long it's going to take us to get rocking and rolling today. Bloop, bloop. Alrighty, so yes, it's a $7 tournament. Why is it doing this to me? Sorry, folks, it's just me here. Just me working all the extras, so bear with me. But yes, $7 entry. Looks like it should be closed up here in the next probably day, maybe two. So we're going to do a little dabbling in here. It's a 20 max entry draft. So we're just waiting for two more people to fill in. Nice. We don't have to wait too long. I am excited. Last week, we did come back with a puppy Superflex, first Superflex draft of the season. Was excited to get in there. I've done a handful, didn't max it out, but I did have a lot of fun just jumping in there with the initial ADP boost. As we see most of the following Superflex leagues, I'm sure that ADP is really going to kind of like level out. So it was a great time to take advantage of that. That draft should be closed up over the next day or two. Boom. We're locked up. We're ready to roll, folks. Oh, who's ready to win some money? Hopefully it's me. And of course, as always, if I win, we'll be sharing it with somebody. We'll find somebody to share it with. But 105 is where we're going to be drafting in this draft. The Miser starting off at 101. Say a regular with us here. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea who that is. But 105 should be a pretty clear wide receiver start to this draft, as there are 5 Studley guys right up there at the top. Little tempted with Bijan or Breece Hall, but I'm almost positive we're going to be going here with a wide receiver up at the top before the draft even starts. So, as always, let's make sure we've got our beverages with us because it is Best Ball Brunch. So I've got myself a lovely OJ, and had a rotten orange on the counter. So it's a fresh OJ, not the rotten one. Grabbed all the good oranges. So it's a little pulpy. So halfway through this draft, you see a little foam in the mustache. That is from the all natural oranges, or maybe it's the mold fermenting on top of the. Who cares? We'll make it through the draft. That's all that matters. For anybody joining us, obviously not live right this moment, but anybody joining us, they do want to come in, hanging out with all the fun here on Underdog. Use code FFAdvice to get a deposit offer match up to $250 in bonus cash, and you can come hang out with me. Do some of these live drafts. We're going to be bringing in the rest of the team all summer. It's going to be a great time. Great times. Chris McCaffrey, 101. Who's surprised? Raise your hand. Yep, no hands up, and that's right. It's just me. No, I wasn't. CeeDee Lamb off the board. Should see Tyree go here. Probably Amon-Ra after that. Amy. Come on, Jeremo. This guy taking forever. What's he doing? How we doing today, folks? Come on, tell me in the chat. Let me see it. Oh, chat's blowing up. You guys get lucky if you even get a turn in there. Right? No. Oh, Geronimo. Looks like you're timed out there. Tyreek Hill. Big shocker. Not a bad place if you have to. All right. Where are we going here, folks? Amon-Ra or Justin Jefferson? Probably, I think we're going to go Amon-Ra. I haven't had him in a while. It's not been since the early parts of these best ball drafts, so let's go ahead and lock him up. I've been getting Jefferson on a lot of slides and later picks, so I think this is one of my few opportunities to get Satan Brown right here. Let's take him. Folks, I'm trying to remember. I don't know if I have, but despite all the wide receiver talk, big fan of Hero RB. If you want to go one of those big three, whether it be Bijan, Breece, or CMC, nobody's doubting you here. I love both those picks. Bijan, I think, is just going to be his usage this year is going to be so unreal. And I know he's making the comps to CMC. Maybe we should believe it. This guy's coming from an offense, Sean McVay, similar tree that we've seen with others. So, huge fan of him this year. And even Breece Hall. Breece Hall should be so much more productive this year, just, being year 2 off that ACL tear. So, very excited for what they've done with that offensive line as well. Garrett Wilson, Jefferson, and Nakua. So we're down to the 109, and only one running back has been taken. Oh, and we got a viewer. Oh, what's up, buddy? We got a viewer jumping. Oh, and they're gone. They're gone, just like that. Okay. Let's hope the sound's working this time. That was a real SOB the first time. This didn't work. There we go. Bijan and Breece Hall going off at 109 and 110. Rizzo's going to be Gibbs. All right. So nice streak of running backs. Sorry, folks. Looks at the 112, the turn here. It's going A.J. Brown, sure enough. And Drake London. Now, I actually just got out of recording with now friend of the show, Andrew Cooper, tight end guru, if you will. Just kind of gave us a little touch into Drake London. And if anything, it just gave me more confidence in the guy. I pulled back a little bit from him in a lot of these drafts, trying not to oversaturate my exposure to Drake London, but super excited for the player overall. All right, so Olave and Nico Collins going off at 2-2 and 2-3. And another wide receiver. Not shocker, just both those guys took running backs. I was half tempted to do that Superflex draft with y'all again today. It has been unfreaking real what I've been running across. The amount of guys that have started, or ladies, could be either one. The amount of folks that have started off 4 straight quarterbacks, it's mind-boggling to me. I can see the argument for 3 straight. Totally get it with who you may grab, where you're at in the draft. I could understand that, I guess. But watching these people take 4 freaking quarterbacks and leaving me with all the wide receivers and just absolute crap at quarterback. It's interesting. All right, here we go, folks. We'll pull up the board for you. Just a little glimpse of the board there. Handful of running backs. I don't think I want to take Barkley here, Achane, and Kyron. So those are off the board. Wide receivers, we're looking at Neighbors, Mike Evans, Devontae Adams. Adams, are you going to be great, man? You know what? Don't even tell me because I don't want to be tempted to take you. I can't take Devontae Adams this year. I'm 31. He's getting older. Gardner Minshew can hyper-target people, but do I want to play that game? Not this game. Not this round anyway. Brandon Ayuk comes off at 208. Pretty happy with that guy. Malik Neighbors, I'm not touching at this ADP. Mike Evans, we're living off last year. I get he could still replicate some of what he had last year, but I'm not going to buy in at this price. I think there's other pieces that I really do like around here. And then, of course, like I said, Devontae Adams. Saquon Barkley's off the board at 2.9. We're going to come in. The next 2 guys took wide receivers at the first round, so I'm sure we'll see. We can go really any direction for these guys, whether they go wide receiver, running back. And then the Miser, our CMC leader of this draft, I'm sure he's going to be doubling up on wide receiver here. Sam Laporta, if he falls to us, folks, are we taking him in the 3rd round? Are we going to match up him and Amon-Ra? So if you were to ADPs right now at 31, actually, I'd be taking him above ADP. Wow, he's considerably, I guess not a considerable fall, but he's starting to move here, folks. If we can get him to the back of the 3rd, maybe even early 4th round, I think I will like taking him a lot more. Oh, my goodness. The Miser. See, oh, snap. Let me pull my foot out of my mouth here. The Miser, CMC, Devon Achane, and Kyron Williams. I'm super excited to see how his team falls out. Where do those wide receivers? What's his wide receiver 2? Wide receiver 3 look like? Gross. So Sam Laporta, he is here. He could give us our Jared Goff stack. He could open it up for us. But do we want to? Do we really want to do that, folks? Oh, man. Stephon Diggs, I'm out on. DJ Moore, I'm actually cooling quite a bit. So I think I'm looking at DK Metcalf or Cooper Kupp. Let's take DK. I think this offense is going to come back in a lovely way. DK has never been outside of the wide receiver 2 conversation. So give me a guy that can score 10 touchdowns on any given season. Yuck. We didn't like that. But yeah, I don't mind Sam Laporta, taking him there. Did we want to? No. Could we have? Yeah, maybe. But elite tight end, I don't know if we're going to be taking him here in this draft. We have somebody else fall to us. We'll see. Let's pull up the big board here. Still, like, just blown away by this start over here. CMC, Chan, and Kyron. Several teams loading up on all wide receivers, though. Taking advantage of what's fallen a little bit. Sam Laporta does go pick 31, so right at consensus. There's no fall, no rise. He's just right where he should be, I guess. All right, folks, let's pull up our cheat sheet. Y'all have them? Everybody should have them. Come on. Everybody needs them. But I got to see what we're working with here. Josh Allen's off the board. Awesome. Going to start looking at our pairings, though. It's a big thing. We don't want to jump into it too early, but I do need to know where we correlate and what's the haps, what's the future for this team. Because Amon-Ra, Brandon Ayuk, and DK, I love those three. All right, just digging through the forums of crap. Raise your hand if you better organize your stuff. This guy. All right, what do we have here? Slide that down. Look at that. Breece Hall, Nico Collins, and Josh Allen, first quarterback off the board at 310. Little unbelievable there. Had to take a sip. Clean off the mustache, of course. All right, so with DK Metcalf, Seattle, we're looking with Chicago. So taking DJ Moore might have. Oh, I guess that's what I'm looking for. But Seattle plays the Bears in Week 17, so we might look for a little correlation there. We also have San Francisco, who does play Miami and Detroit. So we already are starting off well with Detroit. Wow, Mark Andrews, Travis. Mark Andrews is shooting up boards again, folks, and I just put out a video about him. And I think he's going to start cooling for me. In the fourth round, it's still not a bad price to pay. But wow, when you could sneak him out in the fifth round was amazing. Especially if you could stack him with Lamar in the fourth and him back in the fifth. But are we going to start seeing Trey McBride tumble a little bit? Are the truthers? Y'all still there? Because Kyler's price is riven, and so is his. Marvin Harrison Jr., hey, he's still sitting there right at that clip of 1-2 turn. T. Higgins, Josh Jacobs goes there. We are coming up on the board. What are we looking at here, folks? Unfortunately, I don't have any Miami pieces already. Otherwise, that would be a nice one to kind of correlate with here with Amari Cooper. Oh, also Trey McBride. There he goes. All right. Digging. Kind of digging Keenan Allen right here. Just at the thought of him and DK Metcalf, the correlation there. Or Isaiah Pacheco. Grab myself a running back. What y'all thinking? You know, we're going to veer a little bit. Oh. Got him. Grabbing a running back. Isaiah Pacheco. Panic pick a little bit there because I really do like Amari Cooper and Christian Kirk right there. Keenan Allen was definitely on the board just as a correlation piece with Seattle since I do have DK Metcalf. Leaving Geno as an option for late. I still have the option of, Amon-Ra with Jared Goff, Brandon Ayuk. I still have that possibility there. Maybe I want to go with George Kittle here in the next pick or two. But Isaiah Pacheco as my RB1, my fourth pick off the board. Usually go running back or wide receiver there, but I like kind of mixing this up a little bit, seeing where he goes. Took him over ETN. Yeah, sure. Oh my goodness, this dude. Here he comes. I can't wait. Let's pull it up. Pull it up on the big board, folks. Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes are off. TM Clucky Got 3 receivers. Oh, man. 4th wide receiver. And then the miser up here. His 3 straight wide receivers. Let's see what he shows us. What does he do? Does he grab it? I bet he goes quarterback, tight end. Oh, he did get a wide receiver. Okay. All right. He's not tossing this draft completely out the window. Man. Come on, everybody else. Oh, we got somebody in. What's up? What's up to our viewer? Our specific viewer. You are all of my focus today. Nobody else is allowed in. I'm going to go ahead and lock the room. It's just you. Lamar. Oh, my God. I can't believe he took him. Starting off 3 running back. ETN's coming off the board finally. Our first team with 4 straight wide receivers is taking one there. All right, let's pull it up, see what we're looking at here. I still could do the comeback with Keenan Allen, leaving me the possibility of taking Caleb Williams if I wanted to, but to give me that Chicago and Geno Smith, the Seattle stack. We'll cue that up on the board. I'm not going to be looking at running back because I did go Pacheco. If you watch the video from last week, Chris Godwin is on my radar as well. And Amari Cooper, just criminally undervalued, I feel like. Plays Miami and Cincinnati in week 17 and 16. Let's go ahead and take Keenan Allen here. I do like the opportunity that it's going to give us with a quarterback because we're not taking one early here. And again, the Chicago-Seattle correlation we have. Who else is Chicago playing? They are... Oh my gosh, they're not even on my board. Are you kidding me? Nope, there they are. Detroit and Seattle. Ooh, even better. So maybe I do come back and get Caleb Williams here because I have Amon-Ra there for the week 16 matchup, the week 17. Oh, this is getting juicy. We might just have this huge interconnecting spider web of crazy correlation. Is this the perfect draft? Hold on to your seats, folks. Wasn't my words. Wasn't mine. It was somebody in the chat. Pancakes and best ball. Let's go. Tyler knows what's up. Pancakes and best ball. Pancakes guy, huh, Tyler? I'm a waffle man myself. I'm a waffle man. But I got to respect it. Who doesn't love waffles? Maybe mix them all together. Who hasn't made the waffle pancake combo yet? I don't know. All right, let's pull up this big board. What do we have rocking? After me, Amari Cooper. There he goes. Thank goodness. It's killing me watching him sit there. James Cook came off at 7-5. Jaden Reed, Dalton Kincaid, and Calvin Ridley. So we have 1 elite tight end left, if you want to call it that. Oh, there we go. Wife likes the pancakes. Smart, Tyler. You always got a favor in the side of the wife. They make the rules, as most will find out. There he goes, Kyle Pitts. All right, so we are not going elite tight end in this draft, and I'm kind of punting the quarterback. So we're just going to soak up all the value we can, just like the pancake would of the syrup. You know, we're going to call our tight end or our running backs and wide receiver the syrup today. We're soaking them up. This guy went Kelsey and Richardson as his last 2 picks. What do we have up on the board? He takes Godwin. Love it. Love me some Godwin this year. Hunter Henry late. Oh, Tyler, come on. I need you to send me some breakfast here, man. You're making me hungry with all this talk. Biscuits and gravy might be the 101 of breakfast. Like, can you go wrong there? I absolutely love it. Because you can put syrup on it, too, if you really want to get crazy. I like some syrup on my gravy. Maybe. I bet it's good out there. Hunter Henry late. You read my mind. We're going late tight end, late quarterback. So Hunter Henry, maybe even some Drake May action if we want to get a nice correlating piece. Love the thought. Appreciate everybody hopping on and giving us some help. We always need it, as you know. Not the pro here. We're just trying to learn from the pros. Joe Mixon's off the board. Xavier Worthy, there he goes. I think, Hollywood's already gone too. Those wide receivers have been shooting off draft boards. All right, now the pickle here, folks. If you take George Kittle, get us that San Francisco-Detroit correlation. What do you think about Theo Johnson? You know, Dynasty World, I'm following the sleeper trending, and I'd actually prefer Daniel Bellinger. Theo Johnson, decent prospect coming out, but, you know, later pick. He's a rookie. If he doesn't get that elite... Oh, we're going to hit a pause on that. We're on the clock. All right, folks, where are we going? Jackson Smith and Jigba. Just because we do have DK, so I'm looking at coming back with Gino. Who else are we looking at here? I'm trying to. Oh, or George Kittle. Let's take George Kittle. Let's get crazy here, folks. We're going to go George Kittle. We're going to grab a big tight end here just because we do have some Detroit pieces there. We do have Brandon Ayuk. I'm telling you, I'm feeling it. This might be the perfect draft. But yeah, back to Theo Johnson. I like the prospect going forward, but this year, Daniel Jones, I'm even skeptical to think that Daniel Jones is going to be starting this full season. Drew Lock was putting pressure on Geno last year, so do we see him come out here? But Daniel Bellinger, we didn't see a lot from him in his rookie season. We saw the ability for him to show up. And when you have an ambiguous receiving core like the Giants do, I think shooting your shot at a tight end who has some upside, I kind of like that a lot. But Theo Johnson, I might be a year early for him. But who knows? We saw them buck the trend last year, and tons of rookie tight ends got some work. So we might be pulling my foot out of my mouth here in a couple months. Before we get up to our pick, we got a couple away. Let's see how this turn has gone. Jacksonville, Tennessee, and Seattle wide receivers going there. Rashee Rice finally comes off the board. Joe Burrow. All right, just kind of looking at quarterbacks we were talking about, Caleb Williams and Brock Purdy. They're going to be down here at 12-13, so it looks like we can hit the brakes a little bit more. Oh, gross. Freaking gross. All right, Deontay Johnson's my pick here, folks. 100% he is the pick. I love the possibility of what you're going to get from him. But we're playing the game, playing the stacking game. Jamison Williams, they didn't replace the second wide receiver. Khalif Raymond's the next option there. I'm going to take him purely on the thought that we'll probably be taking Jared Goff as one of our quarterbacks, and just to get him, Amon-Ra, a little correlation there. I'm regretting it already. It's okay. It's going to clean up. We're going to look good here at the end. So again, just kind of touching on what we were looking at. I have a couple of Seattle pieces. They play Chicago in that last week in week 17, Minnesota in week 16. We're also kind of favoring over some San Francisco players playing Miami week 16 and Detroit week 17. And then, obviously Detroit plays Chicago in week 16 and San Francisco in 17. So I'm kind of hovering over a San Francisco-Detroit build with some complementary Seattle and Chicago. It's like a nice recipe, folks. You just got to sprinkle a little of this, a little of that. And let's just hope to God this isn't like baking. Because baking one wrong move and you're done. But luckily, here in June on Best Ball, we've got a decent chance of making something good out of a recipe of what we have. Running backs is where we're going to be hitting next. I'd love to have... Yeah, that one wouldn't have fallen to me. Looking back, maybe David Montgomery might have been the direction we went instead of Jamison Williams. Still would have given me the Detroit piece, and would have given me a second one behind Isaiah Pacheco. But we can't regret, we can't rewind. This is live, folks. We're stuck with what we have. So we're going to lick our wounds, and we're going to eyeball... Ooh, can we get him? There's no way. There's no way he's fallen to us. But Jonathan Brooks would be my number one running back I'd grab off here. Zach Moss, I'm starting to heat up on him. Starting to really turn my focus on Zach Moss. I know Chase Brown is their second-year player. Saw some explosion from the guy. I'm not doubting that, but he can't pass protect. He was not out there. I think it was like 8% of pass protection snaps. So Zach Moss will be out there way more, and we saw it firsthand. The guy can carry the workload, so I'm excited to see what he'll bring to us. James Conner, Raheem Mostert. No, I don't see Tony Pollard on there. And then Trey Benson will be other guys we'll be looking at. Jalen Warren, I don't mind as well. DeAndre Swift. I said we have a touch of Chicago correlation there. We're looking to grab a handful of those pieces. I don't know. Where y'all at? Anybody? Do we have love for DeAndre Swift? Still not sure where I sit with him. There's just so many other running backs I think I like more that I'm worried how much does he hold up. We were so scared of him going to Philly last year just to see if he'd hold up. He sure did, but that stuff goes year to year. Jake Ferguson goes off the board. Let's pull up the big view, see what we've got working. Oh. There goes Jonathan Brooks on that lovely running back. Why is this dude still stacking running backs? Come on, man. All right, Jordan Love, Kyler Murray. Quarterbacks flying off the board. Let's see if they can drop some value in the running back room to us just a bit. There's 2 running backs I really like, and we're 3 picks away. Folks, cross your fingers with me. Let's hope we can make it there. Zach Moss, Jalen Warren, willing to take either one. Somebody in the comments want to tell me who their favorite is, which direction we should go. In all honesty, I was going to say Jalen Warren right there, but I'm going to backtrack and hope BS Catter doesn't take Zach Moss. Come on, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. Talk about going heavy wide receiver, 6 of his 7 picks. Garrett Wilson, Waddle, Stephon Diggs, Amari Cooper, Roma Dunze, and Jordan Addison. He plays some best ball. Ramondre Stevenson, let's go. Leaving us Zach Moss. Oh, Warren, Thaddeus. What happened there, man? I needed you telling Beepo. Yeah, Beepo not to take Warren. We needed him. But he's fallen off the board. He got a bunch of old guys here. I mean, Zamir White there, but I'm going to take Zach Moss. I'm going to do it. Oh, shit. Or should we take DeAndre Swift just for correlation? Nah, take Zach Moss. Okay. All right. You wanted Connor there. Look, I don't hate Connor. I am finding myself taking a lot of Trey Benson, but James Conner on a game-by-game basis. Granted, he won't play the whole season. He gets you steady points. So, Thaddeus, I love the call. We'll call it a tilt. We'll call it a tilting pick, and we'll blame the fantasy gods there because we did go Zach Moss. If only you could trade in best ball. We could trade up, grab ourselves some James Conner. Just taking a quick peek at our quarterback situation. Caleb Williams, Brock Purdy, and then Jared Goff if we go late. Probably sneak in a couple of those guys. Love a little running back action here too. Just we do only have the 2 guys. Tajay Spears, I can't. I invited him over for Thanksgiving. I love this kid. I want him to meet my mom. I love me some Tajay Spears. So he's up there. Chase Brown, we're going to skip over him a little bit. Coming back on the clock here. Do we take Caleb? Starting to cool on him. Starting to cool in Chicago just a little bit. I don't quite know why. Maybe it's just all this hype initially. It's trying to make me tilt. To go Brock Purdy, Caleb Williams. I'm going to go Caleb here because I'm going to come back with Jared Goff as our other quarterback. Instead of taking both guys from the same game in Purdy and Goff, we're going to go Caleb, who will give us a slight floor, rushing floor, hopefully. I'm going to take that right there. Stack him with Keenan Allen. Ew, gross. We're not going Cole Kmet. I don't know. Maybe I should have gone Purdy for the double stack. Yeah, I'm tilting right here, folks. Struggling. Now I'm thinking I should have gone Purdy and come back with a running back. Because Jared Goff, we should be able to wait on the comeback. I don't want to double up on quarterback here in the 9th and 10th round. That's not me. Oh, I scared away Thaddeus. Pissed him off. I wanted to grab Warren. I choked on Connor. He's over here yelling at me in the comments. All caps. Come on, man. Where's your caps control? Just messing with you, buddy. All right. Let's pull up the big board, see what we're looking at. While you do that, I'm going to take a little sip of poos. Oh, damn, that's good. Javonte Williams. I thought I was excited for him coming into the season, but I think I'm cooling off. I know he's got some people that love him out there, but I really can't find any that are like consistently beating the drum for Javonte Williams. They got Jaleel McLaughlin. I'm here. Get your guys. Love it, man. Love it, Thaddeus. Get your guys. It's the best way to go for it right there. All in all, you don't want to reach on ADP. Depending on where you are on the draft board, you get a little bit of wiggle room as far as going to get your guy. But, yeah, if you're within a round, I've got no problem. Go for it, especially as we get into these deeper rounds. It's wild. The approach people have once you get into the last 4 or 5, maybe 6 rounds, stuff like that. Treat it like an auction draft. You know, what are you going to be paying for any guy in the round 15? Probably $1. Round 14? probably $1. So the distinction between those two players isn't a whole hell of a lot. Brock Bowers goes at 10:01. Khalil Shakir and Gus Edwards. As we're coming through, team so far, we're looking at Amon-Ra. We have Brandon Ayuk, DK, Isaiah Pacheco, Keenan Allen, George Kittle, Jamison Williams. Yep, tilting on that one a bit. Zach Moss, Caleb Williams. And our turn, we're coming up next. There goes Brock Purdy. The possibility, but we're not going to take him. We're not going back-to-back quarterbacks. We don't do that here. If anything, we go tight end heavy on this show. But, again, not early. Gross. This is not a spot of the draft that I really like. Chase Brown, I don't want to take him just because we have Zach Moss. I don't really want to double up on those Cincinnati guys, especially if I'm not doing any sort of stack. Blake Corum, he is what he is. Never mind. He's off the board. Don't even have to worry about that. Austin Eckler, I've taken 0 of, and I don't plan to. Nick Chubb, I don't plan to take any. Ezekiel Elliott, the cost makes just so much sense. A.D. Mitchell, I think, is a big boom bust guy. I'm only taking him if I'm doing some sort of Indianapolis stack. So I'm going to go with Twitter's heartthrob right now. Dontavian Wicks has been just climbing draft boards. I think he's a pretty decent value where we're getting him right around wide receiver 60. Going to an offense, in Green Bay, they score some points here, So I'm going to go ahead and grab him. Not really sure what else I liked in that position. Jared Goff was there, but again, I'm not reaching for him. Let's look at the board. We have quarterback. All these teams have at least one, some of which have 2 already. So I'm going to play the game and hope that they let the value fall as it should. And if not, I'll clean up at the very end. And, we'll address that at the end of the game. Because Caleb Williams got a bye week of 7. Some of my favorite late-round quarterbacks, Bo Nix and Drake May, they have bye week around 14. So it works out. I could go with either one of those guys. Derek Carr, I believe he's bye week 12. So he's a possibility. I think it's going to be Jared Goff here, though. Other guys I'm looking at. So this is where in hindsight looks out. So had I gone Brock Purdy earlier, we taken a running back as well. I could have loosened the strings a little bit on that Jared Goff Detroit and the Niners. And then I could be coming back with Zach Charbonnet right here and then even cleaning up with Geno Smith later, which we might do. But I kind of have to take a piece of the Detroit, and otherwise I'd be, yep, all right. Damn it. 2 quarterbacks in the top 11 picks. That is not the way we want to typically go here, folks. But we're doing it to clean up the stacks, close the gaps that we have. So now looking at what the quarterback situation we do have, try and grab a few pieces. I'm going to hammer some running back over the next few rounds, whether it's 2 over the next 4, maybe 3 over the next 4. Pull this up, grab a few guys I like. Love some Marshawn Lloyd, Ty Chandler, Jalen Wright, Ray Davis. Bam. Khalil Herbert. I like grabbing Roschon Johnson, but these 2 Chicago running backs, like I said, DeAndre Swift, he's going as a top 24 running back. He very well could return that value. But at the same time, he can get hurt, and that's what you're doing when you're playing 0 RB. Not quite what we did, a little bit more hero style with Isaiah Pacheco in the 4th round, but I like him as a nice correlating cleanup piece. All right, pull up the big board. What do we have? Ezekiel Elliott, Trevor Lawrence, Jacoby Myers. I'm not taking another quarterback here. Just plain and simple. It's single quarterback. Jared Goff week 5, Caleb Williams week 7. I've got a guy for both bye weeks. I'm not touching quarterback again. We're done with that position. Just completely write it off, which is nice. Now we can really focus on these running backs, cleaning up that room, making sure we grab some high upside wide receivers here very late. And then I do have George Kittle. George Kittle, he probably covers my tight end room for about 50% of the games. So then going back there, we'll probably end up with 3 tight ends in this build, just because I feel pretty confident in the wide receiver, so we don't have to do too many flyers. Tyler reached out and said Hunter Henry late. Probably going to be one of those targets we grab to go with George Kittle. Seems like a guy that should do some consistent work. And as I touched on, just did a show with Andrew Cooper, who was talking about the amount of tight end screens that we should see come into the Patriots room. After they performed 0 in 2023, they're bringing in a guy who loves himself some tight end screens. So very excited for Hunter Henry. Wow. 80 Mitchell and Josh Downs, but he has no Anthony Richardson. Interesting. Alrighty. Nice little wide receiver run. Stopped by Dalton Schultz. Coming up here in a couple picks. And oh my God, Zach Charbonnet, fall to me, buddy. Fall to me. We need another running back here. And I wouldn't mind Marshawn Lloyd, but I really want some Zach Charbonnet. Was involved last year. He's the pass catcher between him and Walker. It's a brand new regime, so we might see a little bit more of a split between the two guys. No! Beepo. Is that the second time he's done it to me? I think Beepo's done that to us twice, folks. Yep, he stole Jaron. He's in the stream. Son of a... Yep. All right. So, folks, for these next couple picks, I'm going to say guys I don't want so that Beepo quits snack. Zach over Eckler. No. You don't like Zach Moss? Or over Eckler? I'm just... Oh, man. Oh, man. Just not an Eckler guy. I guess I could see him catching a bunch of passes, being involved, but that offense... I'm going to take Marshawn Lloyd. I'm going to do it. I like the way they split up that backfield. Josh Jacobs just was not efficient last year. Granted, it's just a new team, but LaFleur has been open about it. He loves himself some, split backfield. He likes giving guys like Dion Lewis work. So Marshawn Lloyd, as we're kind of going with the shotgun approach with running back, we need to clean up that room, though. So on the turnaround, we're probably going to go running back again. Oh, Zach Charbonnet. I was thinking you were talking about Zach Moss. I see you there, Thaddeus. My bad, buddy. Don't like Charbonnet over Eckler, though. He's not a new hotness fan. He's the old and busted. I get it. It works. Sometimes we overthink these young guys. All right, the Miser's up on the board. I want to check out this guy's team. Lamar and Purdy. So he spent a top 4 pick on Lamar, and then he came back with Purdy pretty early. While also having CMC, Devon Achane, Kyron Williams. Like, dude. Come on, Sleeper. I just want to look at his wide receivers. Who's he got? That's gross. That's a gross room. Christian Kirk, JSN, Watson, Brandon Cooks, Pearsall. That's interesting. He's got more stones than I do. I couldn't do it. As we get here, lots of tight ends. Cole Kmet's there if I want to go for the Chicago stack. But I think I'd rather let it sit. Got a little bit to go on running back. Eckler had 3 20-point fantasy games before he got hurt. He's not washed. I hope he's not. I just have trouble putting my money into it there, Thaddeus. Well, we're buddies now. I'm going to call you Thad. No, Ray Davis got auto-picked. You distracted me. Was that your plan? Okay, all right. Thad. We're going to go back to a Thaddeus name basis here, buddy. Ray Davis off the board for me. Could be the touchdown thumper if Josh Allen doesn't run them all in this year. Rookie, what was it, 4th or might have even been a 5th-round pick. So not a lot of investment in this guy, but James Cook got a lot of work. I just don't see him holding all of that work all season. They're going to get somebody else in the mix. Murray, Latavius Murray, they brought him in last year, halfway through the year, trying to get somebody worked in. So we're going to take a shot on touchdowns there with old Ray Davis. And luckily, in your prime in the NFL, it's 24 years of age. Guess how old he is? He's 24. That means he's in his prime and he's ready to rock and roll. So there should be no lapse trying to learn what's happening here. He's got it. As far as the running back room, I definitely want to add one, maybe two more. Like I said, quarterback's done. Wide receiver, we're going to beef this up just a little bit, add a couple guys. And then the tight end room, of course, we do have at least one more addition to go there. As we come into it, Cole Kmet's still there. I just can't see myself taking him. When he's not the top two, maybe even the top three option in that offense, you also have Gerald Everett there that they brought in this offseason. So it's just such a crowded room. I get it, we're shooting flyers here, but at tight end 16, I don't feel like we're paying for flyer production. You're paying for flyer production. You'll bounce back. Thanks, Thad. But yeah, I'm not in love with that, even with the correlated piece. Hunter Henry, going to put him up on the board a little bit. Juwan Johnson, I do like him. Tyler Conklin, Isaiah Likely, Chig. Chig. No, we're going to take him off. If I had Will Levis, we'd go for him a little bit. But that's not where we're going. And then where's he at? There he is. Greg Dulcich. Theo Johnson. Bye-bye. All right, Daniel Bellinger. Cool. Got a handful of tight ends wrapped in there. And then wide receivers, we can go all over the place. Do you like some Marvin Mims? Can I interest you in maybe Demario Douglas, a Demarcus Robinson, Javon Baker? Oh, man. Maybe Darius Slayton, Khalif Raymond, if we want to grab that Detroit piece. Awesome. All right. Oh, shit. We're back on the clock. Just like that. You heard him screaming from the rafters. Let's go ahead and grab our guy, Hunter Henry. Tyler, love the pick. Never commit. Thaddeus, we're finally agreeing again, buddy. We're hitting it home. Never commit. Never surrender. Let's roll. Pull up the big board, see what we're looking at. Hunter Henry closed it up. Michael Wilson goes off the board. Baker Mayfield, again, these guys, take all the quarterbacks you want because I'm done. I don't need that no more. J.K. Dobbins. Any love for J.K. Dobbins? I'm a big fan of the player. Love to see him do great this year, but I fear he might be just a wasted pick in best ball. The guy might not even make the team. There's no commitment on the contract. It's gross out there, and it's really hard for me in the month of June to commit so much to a guy in J.K. Dobbins who, again, we might not see make the team. Toward the Achilles. Ben Sinnott. 14th round. I struggle with that one as well. Again, I understand we had some success with the rookie tight ends last year, but it's hard to bet in that, especially when you see Zach Ertz come in. Zach Ertz come in with his buddy Cliff Kingsbury into Washington. Talking about cooked player. I bet Thaddeus and I can agree on that Washington player. If not Eckler, Zach Ertz is cooked. We haven't seen a 20-point game in him for did we get 20 points on the season last year from him? Probably. But without being too dramatic, we're back on the clock, so we're going to cut that short. Sorry, folks. All right, what are we looking at here? I think we're going to go Roschon Johnson here. Like I said, I don't mind jumping a little bit more than what you see on the board. We're going to scroll down, and I like Roschon Johnson. Again, he's got the correlation with Chicago. I do have Caleb Williams. He's a pass-catching running back. Second-year running backs are guys you want to target, even in a backfield where we think we have sorry. Me and Thad are just having so much fun. It's our party, and y'all are just a part of it. Never Dobbins. I 100% agree. Just like never lowercase. That's how Thaddeus plays. That's funny. Cole Kmet, dude, tumbling down the board. It says only a few people are here watching live, but it must be more. Oh, there he goes. Never mind. Take it back. Cole Kmet finally goes at pick 174 to B Scatter. Beepo takes another guy I like, Demario Douglas, off the board. When it comes to this New England stack, if you're trying to figure out what you want to do late in a draft, not a bad way to go. Somebody has to emerge from this backfield. Guys like Douglas, who is a second-year player, Jalen Polk, who's a first-year player, these guys have the possibility to really break out at the end of the season, and that's where you want it. These last few weeks, I want to say one of the big tournament winners last year had Thornton on their team. Nobody wants to draft that kid, but we can't we don't know who's winning it. Yeah, it's over for Ertz. I feel you there, Thad. So not a bad pick here. Looking at our construction, we're 2-5, 6-2. So 2 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends, 5 running backs, 6 wide receivers. What do we have? 4 picks left? No, we have 3 picks left. Looking at our running back room, we have Isaiah Pacheco, Zach Moss, Marshawn Lloyd, Ray Davis, and Roshan Johnson. It's not a great running back room, but I'd be confident in enough, except the fact we do have 2 week 12 bye weeks. So that leaves us only 3 players to fit into our running back slots. So I might grab another one here, depending on who's left. In all honesty, I feel pretty good about our tight ends. George Kittle's going to have a spike weeks, but I think Hunter Henry will kind of clean up for those 0 dud weeks that Kittle goes. So we might... I think we're going to roll the dice here. We're going to leave it with just 2 tight ends and 2 quarterbacks. Yeah. Let's take them off the board, folks. We're done with them. Locking it up. We're going to have to find out. Bellinger, Theo Johnson? Not this draft. Come back next week. Maybe I'll make that decision. If we do go running back, look, I don't like handcuffs. Handcuffs in best ball isn't something that I go to. But look at that right there. You see that ugly son of a bitch? Yeah, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Look, I was a truther, I guess, if you will, for the first few years. I kept thinking that there was value in his ADP, and I got burned. But I like the thought. If you just look, if I can cross out that name, and I wrote RB2 for the Kansas City Chiefs, I think we'd be a lot more on it. Isaiah Pacheco, he's not a superhero. He might not finish the season. There's possibilities for injuries, so I just don't think he should be written off boards altogether. Keaton Mitchell, I don't know. Do we roll those dice with Keaton Mitchell? Projected time to come back would be like late October, early November. So if anything, he is just giving you that playoff run. So I don't know. That one's going to be tricky. As far as wide receivers, it's really getting thin. Like I said, we have 3 picks. Probably go running back and 2 wide receivers. Tank Bigsby. I was crapping on ETN earlier. It would almost make sense for me to go Tank Bigsby. They want to get him involved despite him not being productive last year. Coach speak, take it as it is. It is ugly for running back. Bigsby or CEH or Tyrone Tracy. Got 20 seconds. Anybody in the comments? Foreman, never Clyde. What? All right, so no Clyde. All right, Thad. We'll play your games. Oh, man. Let's take Tank. Take him. I like that offense to be better than they were last year. I think they're being serious when they're saying they were trying to. Never Bigsby? Oh, man, we are just not seeing eye to eye on this. Even in the 16th round. No upside for Bigsby? Not even a little bit? I like it. I think it's just a little bit. Just enough to take him in the 16th round. Just to clean up this running back room that I have. He's got a week 12 bye. Exactly what I said. I was taking a running back to clean up my week 12 bye issue, and I didn't even pay attention to that. Foreman? What do you mean Foreman? Which Foreman are we talking about? Donta Foreman? You're talking about a wide receiver. Oh, sorry. Again, I haven't had my conversations with old Thad, the Mad Thad. We'll work on the nickname, buddy. Don't worry. We'll get you there. Foreman! I don't see Foreman on the board, or did he already go? This is that part of the game where you really got to scroll. Look for you guys. That's where it gets really fun. You want to go Cordell Patterson? Get really fun there. Arthur Smith up in Pittsburgh, here to cause all the chaos. All right, coming back on the board here. I think we can get Khalif Raymond with our last pick. Darius Slayton. You know, I'm going to go ahead and grab Khalif Raymond just to finish the stack. And then I'll kind of see how the rest of the board falls. He's really the last little piece that I need to clean up any correlation that I wanted. So we're going to go ahead and take, as Thad says, take your guy. We're going to go ahead and take him, clean up that correlation piece with Jared Goff, and just see where the board lands for that final pick. I'll go ahead and pull it up for everybody, though, so we can see what we're working with. Scroll all the way down. Ooh. And don't forget, if this is your first time hanging out with us, I'll be here every Tuesday, all summer long for Summer Best Ball, 11 o'clock sharp. Drafts. Form was there a couple picks ago. I got you, buddy. But yes, we'll be doing drafts all summer, so make sure you come hang out with us. We'll be bringing on guests as we get closer and closer into the season. And if you are new to the Fantasy Football Advice Network, we have so many shows here. I've got too much best ball, too much fantasy football. We've got fun with Corey and Kyle. Biggs and Greinberg are always tearing it up on the fantasy forecast. And then, of course, Operation Domination. Can you get a better group of guys? I don't think so. It's too much fun there. They do their live streams on Wednesday. We have shows jetting out the wazoo. So please come hang out with us on the Fantasy Football Advice Network, whether it be the platform or here on YouTube. Tight end is just shooting off the board. Noah Fant, Chiga Conquo, Dawson Knox, Jelani Woods, just shots in the dark. And we've got George Kittle. I know. We're pumped to have him. So I don't think we're going to be taking that final shot. Guys that are still on the board, I think Darius Slayton's going to be my man. I know. I feel like he's been in the league for just a decade at this point. But he's tried and true. He's there. He puts up points. I know Neighbors is the guy. He will be the highlight of the show, but they're going to have to pass it to somebody else. So if it's not the tight end position, now that Darren Waller's gone, maybe they spread it out. Wan'Dale Robinson, does he finally step it up? Maybe. He can stay on the field. But Darius Slayton is there, and I think that's who we're going to be going with. Unless we've got somebody in the chat that wants to yell at me, somebody better, I'm open to it. I can be persuaded. Jalen Hyatt, if you want to go that direction, if you want to go him over Darius Slayton. Josh Reynolds, who Denver. Talk about a gross receiving core. There's opportunity with that ambiguous receiving group, but it's gross. Looking at the board now, this is where I regret taking two quarterbacks in the first 11 rounds. Granted, these might not be superstars here, but Will Levis possibly could go undrafted. Daniel Jones at the point could be going undrafted. Bo Nix, however you feel about him, the guy should be starting most of the season, if not the whole season. Justin Field, Russell Wilson. That one's an interesting one because I don't really want to devote too much to them. But if you're going for some sort of Pittsburgh stack, I know they do play Kansas City at the end of the season, so it's not a bad little comeback pick, maybe in the last round. But Darius Slayton, we're going to line up that last pick. Boom goes the dynamite. And of course, if this was your first time watching in, you still want to make the plunge. You want to come over to Best Ball. Here on Underdog is the best place to play. Use our code FFAdvice. Get your deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. Hey, it gives you some coin to play with. We have so many drafts that are going, whether it be the big Best Ball Mania tournaments, the Pomeranian has gone through, the Hound Dog has, the Golden 2. We've already got the second one that's just played through. This is the Poodle, and I believe the Puppy Superflex is still rocking. So many different tournaments, whether you're going to be a $5, $7, $10 player or the big $20, $25, $50 players. They've got games for everyone. Not just that, it's the pick'ems. It's really how my wife's been doing her drafts. She hops in the pick'ems, does a handful of those free easy picks, gets enough money for another draft. So it's fun for everybody. I can't stress enough what Best Ball does for your fantasy season, especially in the tournament. Awesome. Let's go pull up what we have. Or even in the Poodle. There it is. View full draft. Not right now. All right, so my team to wrap it up is Caleb Williams, Jared Goff at quarterback. Running back, I've got Isaiah Pacheco, Zach Moss, Marshawn Lloyd, Ray Davis, Roshan Johnson, Tank Bigsby. Wide receiver, we've got Amon Ra, Brandon Ayuk, DK Metcalf, Keenan Allen, Jamison Winston. Don't know where that came from. Jameson Williams, Devontae Wicks, Khalif Raymond, Darius Slayton, and then tight end I rounded out with George Kittle and Hunter Henry. All in all, not a bad spot. I did like how my team turned out. As you heard through most of that draft, there's always times that you're going to regret it. You're going to pick the wrong guy. Maybe you didn't scroll just far enough to find who you really could maximize your potential. That's a great thing. You stay water, stay liquid, stay fluid, move around a little bit. There's always ways to clean up mistakes. Unless you go 3 straight running backs, then it's hard to do that. Not to mess with the miser. He's got a shield, so clearly he must be kind of good. But quarterback, we've got Lamar, Brock Purdy. Running back, he's got CMC, Devon Achane, and Kyron Williams. This is what I don't get here. This is the hard part for me. He has 7 running backs while taking 3 in the first. Granted, I'm not saying you can't win with this load up, folks, but it's challenging because why would you need more than 4 or 5 running backs when you've got Christian McCaffrey should be playing just about every single game? Granted, these two have the same bye weeks, but one of the 2 of them should be the second running back. So it just really doesn't make sense to me to be loading up with these last 2 guys when you have so much invested early on. So spread out where you commit to your players because right now, Christian Kirk, JSN, and Christian Watson, it's your top 3 wide receivers. They aren't scrubs, but those aren't guys that I want to be as my top 3 wide receivers. Brandon Cooks is coming up at 4, and Ricky Pearsall at wide receiver 5. No freaking thank you. And then Ben Sinnott and Jatavius Sanders. Talk about belief in rookie tight ends. That's just not me. Jatavius Sanders, even if he does have a immediate role in that offense is not good enough to support what's coming out of the running back room. Deontay Johnson is still there. Go for it, buddy. Go for it. I can't wait to see if it's you or me. Kind of looking over here as far as teams that jump out at me. That was really the scariest one. Just it kind of blew my mind. Let's take out Beepo. He was sniping me. He's got to have a good team, right? Or he was just trying to ruin mine. Trevor Lawrence, Kirk Cousins, love the ditch on quarterback. He went very late, they went really late. So not a bad stack. 2-7-7-2. We have Jonathan Taylor, James Cook, Kenneth Walker, Jalen Warren, Brian Robinson, Zach Charbonnet, Kamani Vidal. This is how I wouldn't mind a 7 running back setup. You went hero RB with Jonathan Taylor, and then you kind of ditched the position. I probably wouldn't take James Cook. I would have waited a little bit longer, but fill up with these late round running backs to complement your one stud. And those wide receivers, Justin Jefferson, Cliff, George Pickens, Cliff, Deontay Johnson, huge Cliff, and Cortland Sutton, DeMario Douglas, Tolbert, Hyatt. Everybody's has their way to play. I get it. There's only so many rules you have to follow. There's certain rules you kind of have to follow. You got to know the rules. Got to know it. But until next time, everybody, I can't thank you enough for coming to hang out with me. Like I said, I'll be doing this every Tuesday, so feel free to come hang out, say hi, jump in the chat, help me out, pick the right picks. But until next time, I hope you do like, subscribe, come hang out, and check us out on Fantasy Football Advice Network. But until next time, we'll see you then.